Rich, you're on right now. Him in Pennsylvania, and Rich had an experience that he believes demonstrates supernatural demonic presence. So what was that experience, and how does it prove what you think it proves?
Hi, guys. Pleased to meet you, Matt and Jim. Big fan. I just wanted to tell you my experience here. I'll make it as quick and concise as possible. In 1989, I was a much younger lad, around 19, 20 years old, and a friend of mine lent me a book. And the book was an occult type of book. He told me I could read it for, educational purposes and have some sort of background other than my religion at the time. I'm basically atheist now, but this kind of lays with me, this experience I'm about to tell you. So I took the book, I read, I'm sorry, were you saying something?
No, I just said, okay, please continue.
Yes, sir. So I took the book, I read it. A lot of the beginning of the book was about Babylonian and Sumerian history, but in the back half of the book, there was like incantations and symbolism and materials you'd need to do that sort of thing, which I didn't engage in any of that, but I read the book over 3 consecutive nights. I had a fallout with my parents, and I left the book behind. I returned a year later, and this is where it begins. This is what kind of has me a bit unsettled.
And what was the book?
Night back, I was, huh?
What was the book?
I left the book at home.
No, what was the book?
It was something. It was you're gonna laugh, but it was an occult book. I think it was something like along the lines of the Lesser Keys of Solomon was referenced in it, and some other things, some goetic stuff.
Well, there is a book that's the Lesser Key of Solomon, but anyway, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I can't exactly recall, but let me tell you what happened. I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep my first night back, and I felt something land on my back. I thought it might have been like the cat. And then it landed, and I felt like claws in my shoulder blades. That was disturbing because it was painful. I spun around, and when I went from my stomach, which I was laying on, and I turned real hard on my back against the mattress to dislodge whatever I was feeling, and it instead of it being dislodged, it grabbed harder, even though my back was against the mattress, and that confounded me and caused me to go into a state of terror. I started screaming, and my parents came over. I was 19, still living at home, and I'm like, what's going on? I said, can you check my back? Can you check my back? And I'm looking around the room to see what possibly could have done this to me. And what happened was I took my shirt off, and I showed them where I felt something grab my back. And there on my shoulder blades, each the left and right shoulder blade, was a tone of skin, like the color of your lips, or like scar tissue in the shape of I would say a claw, but it was like a Y with an extension in the middle, going up. So it almost looked like a broken cross. It was very clear to see, and both my mom and my father saw it, and they whisked me off to our minister, and that's a whole other story. But I can't explain what happened to me. I felt a burning there, and then all of that faded away. The marks faded away. It was almost like it was a rash, but it wasn't. There was no broken skin, no raised skin. Gentlemen, is it possible to imagine something and cause a skin reaction?
A psychosomatic wound of some kind. I believe it is possible. I'm trying to do some research real quick, and I don't have chat up, so I'm sure people are talking about it. But I mean, it kind of depends on exactly what happened. You could have rolled onto something that caused those and didn't feel it and didn't know what it was. It's hard to say exactly what happened. I mean, we have you felt sharp pain as if a cat had landed on your back, and you rolled over and it was still there and you had marks on your back. Those are the facts that we know. How do we interpret those facts? I don't know. To say that it was supernatural seems to be a bit of a stretch just based on our history with the supernatural, because for the last 1,000 years, everything that was thought to be supernatural, we have been slowly but surely finding explanations for. Whether it's, lightning, we know it causes lightning, it's not the gods. We know it causes disease, it's not the gods. We know that milk spoils and it's not the result of a witch cursing you. So we know all this stuff about the supernatural. It just seems, because that explanation is getting smaller and smaller, that there is likely a non-supernatural explanation. What that might be, I don't know.
Rich?
And
Rich, did you go to a doctor?
I was leaning towards I'm sorry?
Did you go to a doctor?
No.
Then,
it kind of went on its way.
Then you did not take any. No, Rich. Then you did not take the steps necessary to investigate this that would allow you to reach any kind of conclusion. So what you have is a big old fucking mystery. That's it. Oh, wow. I didn't hang up on Rich. I guess Rich just, when we got to it's a big old fucking mystery.
He dropped. Yeah.
I guess that was the end.